this is Sharika Brown here, and welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about going back to school. So we're in this time where a lot of people are losing their jobs or have lost their jobs, and the pandemic is still going on. The economy is trying to recoup, but a lot of people are rethinking where they are today and trying to figure out, should they go back to school? And what I want to talk about is, this going back to school make financial sense, right? Um, as we get going and get into school, a lot of people think that, well, if I go get this degree or go get this advanced degree, that will increase my income. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, depending on what it is that you're getting. So when I do it, I did undergrad and then I went on to get my master's, both in an engineering degree, chemical engineering, and then industrial engineering. For my master's, I went directly from undergrad to grad school, because at one point I thought I was going to be a career student and never go out into the real world, but I had a talk with myself and I said, Sharika, you can't run from the real world forever. So I decided to go get a job and working. And so what I've learned with people going back to school, they go back, they either have a family or they want to basically just advance themselves. And then in this case, they want to get a better paying job, in a lot of cases. Now, if you started school before and you stopped, I can see going back, like if you're nearly complete and you want to go complete that degree, then I would say that would be a good reason to go back, because you've been making money all this time and just finishing that could really advance you. There are a lot of employers that pay for degrees, right? So if someone else is paying for it, for sure, go get it, right? So what it's going to cost you is your time. And the other part of that is, with someone else paying for it, is having a scholarship or grants or something that's going to pay for it. Not necessarily taking out loans, but more of having a scholarship or grant that's going to pay for it for you. And that way, you can focus on just the schoolwork and not how you're going to get it paid. The fourth thing I would say is, there are some people that actually work and go to school at the same time, so that you're not putting yourself at like a bigger risk financially at the end of this. So you're really taking your time to go through it and get that degree. I know a lot, excuse me, a lot of people, they think, oh, I can get my bachelor's in 4 years. Yeah, you can do that, but if you're working and you need to work and go to school, sometimes it takes longer, and that's okay, as long as you decide how you're going to get it done, when you're going to get it done. And the fifth one I would say is, if you're prepared to work, and it's going to improve your job. So I've had friends and people that I know that go and get the degree and their job really don't give them a better position. They still see them as a lower position that they were working before. And that was one of the concerns and problems that I had with my ex-employer, because I knew a lot of people that worked their way through school. They had the lower positions, but then they got their degrees and then they got their masters, and they still was in an administrative, technical type role versus being in a professional role. And so you have to think about that too. And you think about, if your employer is not moving you to something different, it may be time for you to get a different employer. That's just how I see it. So if you're fitting into one of those categories, then it may make sense to you. However, if you are satisfied with your job and you don't wish to leave, it may not make sense to go get another degree. I like to see, for people that have their certifications out there, that you can get that won't cost you tens of thousands of dollars to do, to advance yourself, right? So there are a lot of online courses that you can take as well. I know for me, I did engineering, and then I basically learned how to do marketing from online courses. I didn't go to an official school, but I learned how to do online marketing, social media marketing, all those things outside of that. So I paid for that outside of it, and it has paid off, right? So my original investment, I made it back over 4 or 5 times over, and still continue to do it because I still have the knowledge to do that. Okay. Another reason why you probably won't or shouldn't is if you're close to retirement, and I wouldn't necessarily go back to school. I would go back more to that idea of maybe certifications, or doing some courses like being self-taught to do a lot of things, because especially in today's world, if you're not afraid of technology, there are a number of businesses or things you can do online that doesn't require you to have gone back to a formal school and university, and you can learn how to do it. That's pretty much what what I've done. Is I've learned from, I had coaches and mentors, but I've also learned from myself, from actually doing the work, right? So actually placing Facebook ads, YouTube ads, marketing within Instagram, and email marketing, solo ads, all, you name it, I've done it. Pay-per-click, everything. So learning how to do all of that on my own. And it was trial and error in some cases. Some cases I had a mentor there working with me, but learning as I go. And so if you're interested in any part of starting a business online and marketing and stuff, definitely reach out to me. My contact details are in the description, so you can do that. The other thing would be, I would say overall, just do the math, right? Just do the math to see, does it make financial sense for you? One of the concerns I have for people that even go to school to begin with to get a degree is if they go to a big school that pays a lot of money, but the degree that they're getting, they make less than $50,000 a year coming out, and depending on where you live, that's not enough money for you to survive. And so I'm always like, I have an engineering degree. It has paid me back a million times, right? So for 13 years I worked in the corporate world. I actually worked overseas, and so I had, as an expat, and I've made a lot of money from that degree. And then I come and do something totally different from engineering, so thinking with the other side of my brain, right? And have made multiple 6 figures doing that as well. So it's all about what you're going to put into it and what you wanted to get out of it. I will tell you, a lot of times working for someone else, you may or may not get the money that you want or need to survive, and survive long term, right? A lot of people, their retirement, they don't have enough in retirement to basically, they outliving their retirement, and they want to learn to do something else. Going back to school may not be it. Like I said, doing a certification, doing an online course, working with someone like me that has already started an online business, and being able to grow yourself and your nest egg from there. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk to you about. A lot of people wanting to learn, and I'm a sponge for learning, but I am not an advocate for going to school. Don't get me wrong, I got 2 degrees, but I do know that there are other ways that you can learn and make a living, especially in today's time. That's all I have for you today, my friends. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and click that notification button so you can see more content from me. I'll talk to you soon.